War. War never changes. The soldiers are replaced, battlefields shift, and the weapons evolve. But human nature, rooted in competition, stays constant. In the year 1932, 3 men serving in the Royal Australian Artillery wondered if they would make it home to their families and to the children they'd never met. And on the 2nd of November, when the Lewis guns were deployed in Western Australia, they struck out against their fate, marking the start of the Great Emu War. Broadcasting live from Terra Haven, Europa 1, this is the Hedgehog Report. Good evening and welcome, I'm Oscar the Hedgehog, and no, before you ask, I am not an original character from the Sonic the Hedgehog universe. I'm just a regular adult man who lives at home with his mother, pretending to be a hedgehog online. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. I'll say it again. War. From shattered lives to scarred landscapes, tonight we'll uncover the untold stories of those whose lives have been affected. But first, here's Clive with the weather. Clive?
Well, as you can see, we are...
Thank you, Clive. In the annals of military history, there exist countless tales of valiant soldiers battling formidable foes on every corner of the globe. However, this is not one of those tales. Fresh off the back of a disastrous campaign in the First World War, the Australian military was looking for an easy win, and so, just like any good government-organised institution, they looked towards a marginalised group of individuals to serve as scapegoats. Emus. Flightless, large, terrifying. Or so the propagandists in Canberra would lead you to believe. But do they truly deserve the title of villain in this conflict? A history lesson. During the early 20th century, an agricultural problem was brewing for the human occupiers of Australia. The native population of emus was multiplying at astonishing rates, consolidating their power and influence over the western regions. This expansion, whether through greed or necessity, saw multiple territory disputes arise between the human farmers of the region and the leaders of the emu factions. It was then Prime Minister Sir George Pearce that, upon hearing the news of the Western Uprising, devised a military operation to quell the threat. The operation of which began in earnest on November 2nd, 1932, when a small contingent of soldiers, led by Major G.P.W. Meredith, were dispatched to the area. Their mission was clear: eliminate the emu threat and safeguard the nation's agricultural interests. The regiment, armed with 2 Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, was the flame to light the tinderbox of the largest home soil conflict the nation had ever seen. The research team at the Hedgehog Report was lucky enough to track down a fifth-hand account of the following events and conducted an interview via telephone, the recording of which we will play for you now. Thank you for calling in, unknown soldier.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Now, this is quite an event, as I'm sure as were many, were led to believe that you were dead.
No, I can assure you the reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's quite so, yeah.
Well, then, don't you think you should inform the officers of Arlington National Cemetery?
Excuse me?
Because of the guards posted at your tomb.
I don't follow.
Not to mention the other 62 tombs worldwide. They're out there every day, every hour, doing a juggling routine for your benefit.
Look, I'm not here to speak on that. I'm here to speak about the talking points that we agreed upon when we discussed this segment before the show.
Yes, of course. The Great Emu War. I understand you know something about it.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you tell us about what you experienced there?
Well, I wasn't there myself directly. I'm from a military family.
Ah, so you have records from a relative.
Yeah, my great-grandfather's friend's uncle was there.
Truly?
Yeah, he was.
And? Well, what happened?
Oh, well, I don't know. I suppose there were emus there.
Yes?
Well, I suppose they had a fight.
Thank you, caller. You've been most illuminating. Where do you find these people, Desdemona? I swear, where do you find them? I mean, how is it possible that no matter what the topic of conversation, you manage to find the most magnanimous and colossal on the planet to call in? No, don't give me that. No, every time you The battle raged on for 38 long days and 38 long nights. Emu casualties were counting up into the hundreds, yet they remained resilient, defying the humans at every turn with remarkable guerrilla tactics that would later be co-opted by the fighters of the Viet Cong, with their leader, Ho Chi Minh, famously saying, and I quote, "The only thing sweeter than imperialist failure is perhaps MU." December 1932, public support for the Austral Emu War was in swift decline as news about the military operation's failure had reached the tabloids. Meredith and his men were ridiculed for the futility of their campaign, and soon after the new year were withdrawn from the front in January 1933. Battered and beaten, it marked the start of a 12-year-long losing streak for the Australians, until their fortune would miraculously change with a remarkable victory in World War II. So far, we have viewed this history of events through the eyes of its losers, which is rather quite surprising, considering history is usually written by its victors. But emus lack opposable thumbs, and therefore cannot transcribe their account of these events. Let it be known that the Hedgehog Report prides itself on its impartial and unbiased approach to journalism, and so we have arranged to join us today someone whose life has been deeply affected by this war, for a tell-all interview. And dear viewer, I must state for the record that this person has chosen to remain anonymous, for their own safety as well as the safety of their family. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I understand that your family has been deeply affected by the fallout of this war.
Yes, I come from a group of people who live in that area.
I see.
And ever since the war ended, there has been a systemic oppression of my people.
Yes, for everyone there.
No, I mean specifically my people.
The people of Western Australia.
No, my people.
Well, surely you agree that there were good people fighting on both sides.
No, I don't agree with that.
So, let me get this straight. Somehow you feel as if your people are the victims here?
Yes, that's right.
And now you feel as if, some sort of reparation should be made?
Well, quite frankly, yes.
Even though it was your kind that instigated the war?
Excuse me?
That you were the invading force? The aggressive expansionists, infiltrating and indoctrinating the children of the Western region with your grand ideas of cultural Marxism?
I'm sorry, but this
Your
is...
groomers. Admit it. Admit it.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It is absolutely disgusting that you can sit there and feel entitled to treat me in such a manner.
Oh, yes. It's always the same with you emus, isn't it? You just take, never happy with what you've been given. Just because you can't fly, you think...
We appear to be having some technical difficulties here. If you just please stand by and stay with us and...
Get the hell out of my chair!
No, wait! No!
How dare you press the button on me without my consent? Oh, don't give me the silent treatment. And don't give me that look. Oh, such a hostile work environment for a young woman like you. Oh, yes, your voice is being repressed. Well, how about you go ahead and end that charade right now? You don't speak because you don't have a voice actor. Because you're part of a one-man show. Me, my show. It's not the Chinchilla Report. It's not the trans-dimensional mute demon woman report. It's the Hedgehog Report. I'm the Hedgehog.